Welcome to Northern Soul. I'm gonna show you the taping that I'll be using for Morton's Neuroma. Morton's, Motons. And if you're familiar with it, or maybe if you're not familiar with it, as I wasn't until I looked it up, it's impingement of the nerve, basically, or agitation of the nerve within the foot. So we're talking in between the third, fourth metatarsals in this case, if we're being technical. And thanks to Lynn, one of our new subscriber, for commenting, bringing it up. I didn't even realize I had this as well. So she's doing a lot of hiking and that sort of thing, and this is going to be a big problem for her or anyone else that's on their feet for a long time. Typically caused by improper footwear, or for standing long periods of time, or doing any sort of activities where you're really tasking the foot. So like jumping on like pavement and stuff like that. You know, being angry at rocks, whatever. So I'm going to show you the taping. As far as I know, I haven't seen taping for this, so I had to make it up. But once you understand what the tape does, and you understand a bit about anatomy, and then if you can diagnose the problem or the symptom that you're having, then you can actually tape accordingly, intelligently and logically, based on, without even having to look it up somewhere or having to go to a course for this specific taping. So I've got a foot. I'm going to use my foot. It's not the prettiest foot in the world, but it's other feet look like this, but this one's mine. And so I'm using it, and I can see I've got some taping here. I've got a tan line. Super cool if you're into taping, to have tape tan lines. I'm just going to say that because I have one. I was taping here originally for what I thought was plantar fasciitis, but it happened to be this Morton's Neuroma, as brought out by Lynn mentioned. And then I looked it up and said, oh, you know what, that's it, that's what I have. So then I came up with a taping for it, and it was like immediate effect for me. So it's a lot better. The other way, also, if it's caused by improper footwear or poor footwear, like cheap shoes and stuff like that, with not very good cushioning and that sort of, the insoles are cheap and not very padded and supportive, then you might want to, especially if you notice that when you take those shoes off, it gets better. Or if the foot's at rest, it tends to, you get relief from it. It tends to improve the condition. So then you might want to think about getting new footwear, or get off the heels for a bit if you're always having your feet getting crushed in this area. Basically with all that pressure. So you've got a nerve in between here, the actual bones here, these are tendons coming out, but in between there will be some nerves, and sometimes they'll get crushed. So if there's a shoe squeezing and stuff, it'll affect the nerve and sometimes agitate it. Then you can have it expand with the inflammation, and then it's very painful. So that's what that is. So you get pain kind of deep inside, then that's probably what you're looking at there. And I'm going to show you the taping for it. I've got rock tape here today. That's what I'm using, red for contrast, and it's going to be 2 eye strips, and pretty simple. So let's get started. What I'm going to do is come around from the bottom. So the idea is we're trying to create space. That was the whole idea behind it. And to create space with taping, we're going to need some stretch, and usually I go perpendicular to whatever the lines of force are. So in this case, the nerves are vertical in the joint, so I'm going to go horizontal to that. So I'm going to have one tape across here, and then another tape here, because I have pain that can sometimes extend or radiate up into the foot. So I'm going to use it to create space and circulation by having stretch across, and then tape to open up the area. But also with the constant touch, it'll help dissipate some of the, or mitigate some of the pain that you're also feeling in the area. So it's going to be two kind of double use for the tape. Okay, so I'm going to get that first bit out, make sure I get the right length. So I want to go underneath. If you can even see this. Okay, so I'm going underneath. Oh man. Right here. Ow! So I want to get the ball of the foot underneath, and then it's going to swing around to there. So it's going to be substantial stretch. I'm just going to take off a little bit. There we go. Round off the ends. This is the basic eye tape. Hard to tell, maybe see, but what this is going to do is come around just on the ball. So not right over here, but just under. So in the middle part, you'll feel this bone right here sticks out, protrudes like a ball there. So you're going to come across, straight across, and then you'll come on this end where it'll anchor again and then pull across. It'll be the painful side across here and then anchor again. So there's 3 anchors in this one. So hopefully, yeah, my foot's in there. Make sure it's in the frame here. Oh, Pete, your feet are kind of dirty, man. Yeah, thanks. They're working feet. Alright, so there's your anchor. Beauty. Now I'm going to add substantial stretch for circulation increase. So you're talking 50% plus, maybe even up to like 70%. Give it a good stretch. And I want to anchor on the side of the foot. So right there. So I'm just going to press it. I'm going to leave that. A little bit of a rub just to anchor that. Flip it over. And right here. So once again, just crimping so I have the end. I don't want to ever touch the adhesive. And then once again, just kind of across here, about 50 to 70% stretch. Right across. And I'm just going to like try to open up my foot a little bit. So point my toes down a bit, curl them a bit. I already feel like a spasm starting to happen. So that's not good. So I might have to tape an additional. Now when you tape up, now I just got the base layer here. I'm just going to anchor it. There we go. Rub that on. You might feel effects pretty much immediately. So I got 2 anchors. One here at the end where I started, cross, and then here. So no stretch on those areas. Stretch it everywhere in between. So we're trying to expand, open up this area, that whole area, to increase circulation and to just provide that ease. So when you get that crushing effect by the shoe, please don't put it in the shoe that's causing the problem, or you know, that sort of thing. You might want to look into anti-inflammatories as well. If it's really bad, you can even put some ice on it to kind of calm it down as well. Heat also works, but it takes 20 minutes plus if you want to do like a warm foot bath to soothe the feet. So tired, achy feet, you're talking like get like a wash basin with hot water in it, and you could put like some Epsom salts in there and like maybe a few drops of peppermint if you don't have allergies to that, and that'll give like a soothing and you can still have the tape on because this is water resistant, right? So once it's been on for an hour, you can get it wet and go shower, whatever, play, go on the beach and play volleyball. I've done that as well. Fantastic. So, and then we've got one more. Where did the strip go? I caught a strip somewhere. Where is it? I'll just cut another one. Okay, so I'm going to measure it. So I'm just going to anchor it here and then across here, and then it's going to be anchored there. So it's only going to be a small strip here. Shorten it by a little bit. It's better to go longer than too short. So I'm just going to do the old round off the end. Any sort of thing with nerve irritation, a lot of the things that are good ideas, just general rest. That's why it's like, you know, stop doing the thing that's bothering you. If you can't, if you're going to do it anyways, like if you're on a hike and stuff like that and you got to do it because you planned it, or you're doing activities, you know, the team's counting on you because you're MVP, you're going to play anyway, so play with your tape. Don't take that the wrong way. All right, so I'm going to stretch that out 100% back off to about 70 or so. Just like that. I can utilize both hands so I can stretch it out evenly. And then I got the 2 anchors on the ends. Wait a second. Anchor, anchor. And that's your taping. What you may notice after taping is that you might get some muscle twitches and or cracking, popping. It should be pain-free. Of course, if anything develops any worse and stuff, you should get it checked out by a doctor and get it diagnosed properly. Physiotherapists can also diagnose as well, at least get an idea of if this is the problem. But if you tape anyways, I mean, it's very natural. There's no real side effects to it. So you can put it on. If it feels better, then you know that's up, right? You know that's the problem. It doesn't really cost that much. Keep that on for a number of days. So even if it feels better, as long as it's not like itchy or any of that sort of thing, or feeling worse, then if it feels itchy or worse, then take it off. And you can see my video on how to take it off the easy way, or you can just rip it off like a crazy animal. And that's the taping. And it feels great. Well, all right, as Billy Idol would say. So thanks for the comment from Lynn for bringing that up. If you have any more, if you have problems and you'd like to see specific taping for a problem or for a body part, put it down in the comments, and I'll catch you guys next time.